For 7 long years, the son of a king crawled on the ground like a small animal in the dust. His legs were weak, they could not hold him. His back was bent, and when the other children ran and played, they ran away from him and left him behind. The whole kingdom said the same thing about him. They said it softly, behind their hands, so his mother would not hear. He is cursed. His own mother cried over him at night in the dark where no one could see. And the people who hated his father smiled every time they watched the boy drag his body across the floor. They were sure of one thing: this broken little boy could never be a danger to anyone. But they were wrong. Because this same boy, the one who could not stand, the one everyone laughed at, would one day rise to his feet. He would build an army out of nothing. He would beat the most feared king in all the land. And he would build something so big and so rich that even now, after hundreds and hundreds of years, the world still has not forgotten it. His name was Sundiata Keita. And this is where his story begins. A long, long time ago, deep in the heart of West Africa, there was a small kingdom called Mali. And in that kingdom there was a king. His name was Magan. He was a strong king. He was a good king. But there was one thing that worried him day and night. You see, one day a wise old man came to the king. This old man could see things that had not happened yet. He knelt down low before the king, and he said something strange. "A woman is going to come to you," he said. "She will not be beautiful. The people will look at her and laugh. They will turn their faces away. But you must not send her away, because from this woman will come a son, and that son will be the greatest king this land has ever seen. People will speak his name long after you and I are gone." The king did not laugh. He did not say a word. He only waited. And then, one day, she came. 2 hunters walked into the palace, and walking between them was a woman. Her name was Sogalan. And when the people in the palace saw her, they made an ugly sound, a sound of shock. Because the woman's back was bent, her body was twisted. She did not look like the other women. The people called her the Buffalo Woman. They called her that because they said her spirit was wild and strong, like a wild animal that no one could ever tame. The rich men laughed at her. The king's other wives laughed loudest of all. This bent, plain-looking woman was going to be the king's wife? But the king remembered the words of the old wise man. So he did not laugh. He did not send her away. Instead, he married the woman that everyone else had thrown away. He made her his queen. And after some time, Sogalan had a baby boy. The whole kingdom waited. They were so excited. At last, the great king the old man had promised was here. But the boy they were waiting for could not even stand up. They named the boy Sundiata. 1 year passed. He did not walk. 2 years passed. Still he did not walk. 3, 4 years, 5. He only crawled. His legs would not carry him. He did not talk very much. He just sat quietly and pulled himself slowly through the dirt, while children much younger than him ran and jumped all around him. And little by little, the kindness the people once felt for him turned cold. It turned into something cruel. This is the great king? This is the special boy? The old man was wrong. The Buffalo Woman gave us nothing but a cripple. But here is the saddest part of all. The worst words did not come from strangers in the street. No, the worst words came from inside the palace, from a woman whose hate would change everything. Her name was Sasuma.
She was the king's first wife, and she had a son too, a strong, healthy son who could walk and run. And in her heart, Sasuma had one big plan. She wanted her son to sit on the throne one day. So from the moment little Sundiata was born, she did not see a child. She saw an enemy. And she wanted that enemy gone. But Sasuma did not use a knife. She did not use poison. She used something that can hurt even worse. She used shame. One day, Sundiata's mother, Sogalan, needed something very small. She needed some leaves from the baobab tree to cook food for her son. So she went to Sasuma to ask for a few. Sasuma looked at her, and she laughed, a cold, sharp, ugly laugh. "You want baobab leaves?" she said. "Look at my son. My son can walk. My son climbs the baobab tree himself and brings me the leaves with his own 2 hands. But you have a 7-year-old boy who crawls on the floor like a snake. He cannot even stand up. And yet here you are, begging at my door. Here, take your leaves, and take your shame with you." Sogalan could not say a word. She turned, and she walked slowly home. And the proud buffalo woman, the woman who had stood strong against the whole world, finally broke. She fell down inside her little hut, and she cried, like her heart had torn in two. And little Sundiata was sitting right there, and he watched her cry. He did not say anything at first. He just looked at her. He looked at the tears running down the face of the woman who had loved him and protected him and fought for him against everyone. And something deep inside that quiet little boy began to wake up. Something old, something powerful, something that nobody could stop. Slowly, he lifted up his head, and then he spoke. "Mother," he said softly, "stop crying. Wipe away your tears, because today, I am going to walk." His mother looked up at him through her tears. She wanted to believe him so badly, but how could it be true? Then the boy turned and called for one of the helpers, and he said just one thing. "Go to the blacksmiths, tell them to make me the heaviest iron bar in the whole kingdom." So they did. The strongest blacksmiths in all of Mali came together. They worked with fire and hammer, and they made a bar of solid iron, so heavy, so very heavy, that it took 6 grown men just to drag it along the ground. They brought it, and they laid it down in front of the boy who had never once stood up in his whole life. And then the whole kingdom came to watch. They gathered all around, and Sasuma came too. She came with a smile on her face, because she was sure, so sure, that she was about to see this little cripple fail in front of everybody, one last time. Sundiata put his 2 small hands on the cold iron bar. He took a deep breath, and slowly, he began to pull.